Hi guys, this week I'm talking about what to do if you are really struggling to make a decision. What to do if you feel paralyzed by fear and anxiety and maybe you've been in this position for a long time. If that is you, keep watching because this video is to help you. But first up, I just wanted to say several sorries. Partly because I'm British and we just love to apologise, but also because I've been gone for a little bit longer than I like to be. And that's because I've been travelling a lot and I've also been ill, as you might be able to hear, so sorry if I sound post-flu-y. But also, yeah, the other reason why I've taken a bit longer to upload is because I've had a few things on my mind and I've been myself trying to make some big decisions and struggling with them. But that's why I thought this was the perfect topic to do this week, because it's literally what I'm dealing with this week and what my therapist has been helping me with this week. So as you may know, or as you may not know, what I'm trying to do here on Sophbox is share with you really helpful tools that I have received from my professional therapist, who I was lucky enough to get after a massive headache with various healthcare services. And I thought it's so tough to get access to these great people who can give you really useful advice that I want to share this as widely as possible, and that's why I'm doing this here on Sophbox. So if this resonates with you, if you learn from this, please spread the word, share with your friends, people who are suffering, because what I'm talking about here isn't just made up by me, it is from a qualified therapist who has helped a lot of people. I don't know the exact numbers, but a lot of people. If you are interested in the why, the reasons why we worry, then I recommend you watch my video on that before this, why we worry. So to get into the meat of this topic, this week when I saw my shrink, I talked to her about how I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety. And I've had these thoughts going round and round my mind. I've been grappling with a decision or several decisions for a long time, and I've been going back and forth and I feel very stuck. And I was talking to her about how to move beyond that. So I want to share with you what she said to me and the things that I learned in that session. I'm not going to give you the precise details of the decision because it's still ongoing, but I will give you a silly example to illustrate the sort of thoughts that are going through my mind, like how my mind is responding to this requirement to decide. Yeah, this is a silly example. It's not obviously the decision that I'm facing, but this is how my mind was working. It's like I'm in a restaurant and I've got this long menu in front of me, and I know the purpose of my being there is to, apart from spend time with whoever I'm with, is to pick a meal, choose one of these many options and eat. So it's important to me to do that in this hypothetical situation. So maybe I narrow down the options to 2 or 3. So say I've got a chicken salad, I've got spaghetti bolognese and sweet potato soup. I don't know, random choices. Right, and I've got these 3 options, and like I say, I know I've got to eat something, but I can't decide between these options. So I gather lots of information about this chicken salad and why, and the pros and cons around it. Like, what are the good things about going with the chicken salad, and what could be some of the negative repercussions? And the same for the spaghetti bolognese and the sweet potato soup. So then I find myself with a huge amount of information, and I'm still stuck because my information shows me the choices are equal. There are the pros and cons of the spaghetti bolognese. Although they are different in content, in the end they equal the sweet potato soup and the chicken salad. So then I go, right, okay, I'm just going to make a decision. I'm going to go with the chicken salad. And the second I'm about to take that leap to order the chicken salad to go with this dish, my brain goes, but what if you get food poisoning? What if you're supporting an abusive mass production industry? And so I go, brain, you are right, okay, I will go with the sweet potato soup. And then my mind says, yeah, but that's probably not going to sustain you, is it? So I find with every choice that I try to make, my mind then comes up with a reason why I should not take it. What came out over the course of my conversation with my therapist was, not only was I very scared of making this decision, but that fear was down to an anxiety about making the wrong decision. An idea that somehow one of my options could be the wrong one and that I would be doomed if I chose it. Now, it sounds crazy expressing it like that now, but that is actually how my brain was working. Hopefully it's helpful to say that in case your brain, your mind is also doing the same thing. Of course, choosing between various options can be anxiety and fear-inducing, especially if it involves a change from the known to the unknown, or involves bringing about a major life change, like whether you decide between history and physics at university could, in theory, have a massive effect on your life, or whether you choose to stay in your job or leave it for something else, or whether you choose, hypothetically, between Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, massive difference depending on who you go with. It's totally understandable that there is some anxiety and fear there, but the key is to realise that your mind is reacting to that anxiety. So all these thoughts come up and they take all sorts of forms, and it can be hard to see that they're actually all linked to the exact same feeling of fear. It's not the content of the thoughts that matters, it's their effect. They stop me from taking any action whatsoever. It's irrelevant what they say to me, but their purpose is to stop me taking that leap, making the decision, and just choosing a dish or whatever it is your decision is about. So back to some of the tips that my therapist had. She said, if you're stuck there and you're gathering all of this information and trying to figure out the pros and cons of each option, then you will end up driving yourself mad. She said, if the options are pretty similar on pretty similar levels anyway, then there's no way that you will be able to reason yourself through them. Often gathering information, if it goes on for a really long time, is actually an avoidance strategy. Getting away from those unpleasant emotions like fear and anxiety that the idea of taking the decision brings up. In the end, my decision is about taking a leap of faith in a way. So set a time limit. At some point, you just have to decide based on what you know at that time. There's nothing more you can do. And hey, if the mind does what it's designed to do, it might suddenly tell you, this decision isn't important to you anymore. But that is just another thought which is trying to stop you, which is trying to keep you in the safe, comfortable zone, the zone of the known, not the unknown. Even if it does that, you can realise that is the game it's playing and just act anyway. It's all about acknowledging that there will be this mental noise there and that can go on. And you can watch these thoughts flow along the stream and just let them pass. Realise the intent behind them is to stop you taking this decision. But be determined and know that you can do it anyway. Along with this action side of things, the recommendation of my therapist is to also add in some self-care, acknowledging the underlying emotion of fear and anxiety, mothering or fathering yourself in some way and saying, hey, I know this is tough. You're doing a good job. I'm here for you. Feeling where the emotion sits in the body is another stage of this. So often I will feel anxiety in my chest. Some people feel it in their bellies or elsewhere. Shoulders might be tense. And just focusing on where it is in your body that you feel this emotion. Opening up to it physically by focusing on it and by imagining your muscles just relaxing around it. Breathe into it. Allow it to be there. Don't push it away. It's very natural. And it sounds weird maybe, but it does make a big difference. Soothe yourself for feeling that emotion. And maybe you can also offer yourself certain encouraging phrases like, may I be confident? May I be brave? May I know that I can do this? And these sorts of words, the being kind to yourself aspect, can definitely support you in actually taking that action and knowing that you are safe, even if it's scary. Ultimately, when dealing with decision making and choosing the unknown over the known, we have to come to grips with the fact that we don't know what's going to happen to us in the coming hours, let alone in the coming days, years, decades. Life is just about realizing that nothing is certain. Fear, anxiety can be produced by that and many of the other things that we experience. But successfully living life is about having fear by your side constantly, but not stopping what you're doing because it's there. Looking down, acknowledging it, saying, totally natural that you're here, but hey, I'm going this way. You can come too if you want, but you're not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. Finally, just to reassure you, as you probably know already, there is no such thing as a right or wrong decision. We make a decision right or wrong by how we choose to act on it, having made it. So take your decision, and I would do the same. And then we can make the most of the decision we've made. So after all of that, I really hope this video has been helpful to you. If you are faced with a big decision and you weren't sure what to do, please get in touch, let me know how you get on. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any requests for other videos that you would like to see me do, then please write them in the comments below or get in touch with me via my website, which I have linked in below in the description. Thank you so much for watching Sophbox, and if you like what I'm doing here, then please click like, the thumbs up, and subscribe, and share with your friends and anyone who you think might benefit from the content that I'm sharing here. Stay well, and I will see you soon.